Hello everyone, I'm here with Joe Borras. He just moderated a panel with Zugo Bikes and whatnot. We're here at Industry Day at the panels. They're still going on, but I just wanted to ask you what your panel was about and what you talked about.
Yeah, so our panel was about last mile mobility, e-bikes, kind of one wheel type of things, and how we can really kind of shift a lot of the burden of emissions and the burden of transportation cost off of automobiles and into this kind of smaller space. And especially in the last 2 years with COVID and the way that a lot of people are now working from home, they're spending more time in their local community instead of commuting far out, that if we can replace a lot of those trips, a lot of those 2 mile, 3 mile trips with e-bikes instead of a car, we're going to all save more money, be healthier, be more fit, lose 20, 30 pounds that we've been telling ourselves we're going to do for the last 5 years, and make a positive impact everywhere. And we have a lot of great companies here like Super 73, Rad Power, that are building bikes in the U.S. We have companies like Onyx that are sponsors of the show that are handcrafting some of these one-off bikes that are fully custom. And then you have even companies like Harley Davidson that are getting into it with Serial One and building some really high-end kind of works of art on two wheels. So it's kind of a mesh and a mixing of like fitness and wellness culture with like this like early motorcycle culture, and it's a very cool time for this space, and that's what we tried to talk about on the panel.
Very cool. What do you think of Industry Day so far and all these panels?
Industry Day has been great. I've been having a really good time. I was a little tripped out. I was seeing a bunch of people I knew. I was like, man, this Dan's here, George is here. What are these guys doing here? And then I remembered I've worked for Volvo for 12 years, and those are the Volvo guys. So it's really great to see a lot of familiar faces and a lot of heavy hitters. We've got VPs from BMW. We got the guy from Mercedes-Benz. We've got product directors from Kia and Hyundai. So, I mean, this is really the place to be if you're trying to figure out what's next in the transportation space.
Sure. Was anything talked about in any of the other panels that got you interested or excited?
Dude, I was eating donuts, man. I couldn't even tell you. I was mingling with guys I've already known for 10 years. But I will say this, there was an infrastructure panel that was talking about where they could put some of the different money in terms of putting in the chargers and the charging space. And I thought that the guy from ChargeWay, Matt Teskey, made a really good point about you can put all the infrastructure in place that you want. If the people who are managing the hotels or the restaurants where these chargers are put in aren't capable of answering the questions, and maybe it's not about training, but if it's made in a complicated way, they're just not going to answer the questions. People are going to have a negative experience, and it's going to ruin that EV experience for them. So I think some of the ways that they were talking about, universal labeling, kind of getting away from the engineering jargon and kind of making it into like, do you have a J2217 CCS plug, and just say like that's a green plug, that's a red plug. That seemed very intuitive to me. I thought that was really good. And then the Austin Energy people had a great panel about getting accessibility and people who are low-income families that are the people who stand to benefit the most from reduced fuel costs, reduced maintenance costs, making EVs more accessible to them. I thought that was a high point.
Well, very cool. Thank you very much for talking to me, and enjoy the rest of the expo, sir.
Thanks much.
Good to see you.